Hey guys, welcome to the Next Level Official Podcast, where we're talking about this week's happenings in entertainment and gaming news. First thing that is hitting the airwaves this week is in the industry of streaming. So we got our boy, not our boy, but a boy, Twitch streamer.
Not our boy.
Buckers
We're not.
goes virals, man. He goes viral, and I added an S to it. Virals goes virals.
It goes
Or
viral.
going crazy, going off during the stream, man. Noob, tell us a little about this.
So it's a little awkward, this whole story. This guy by the name of Buckers, streamer, streaming some Madden, had about 5 viewers, apparently loses, starts complaining about this expensive controller that he bought, puts the baby down, and, you know, he's just like super fucking pissed off and aggressive. He yells at the baby, you know, it's an innocent baby. He's just, you know, crying, you know, he's right with his dad. And then, then he breaks his controller, and apparently stream was cut off shortly
rage
after.
Quit kind of bullshit.
Yeah, rage quit bullshit, you know, but you know, the whole thing about it is he cut the stream off shortly after, you know, some of the people that were watching, of the 5 people, cut the video, uploaded it, and it's been gaining momentum. And apparently this guy's been reported for child abuse. I mean, it's like all this stuff. This whole incident, the reason why this is important is because it raises a ton of questions, you know, one of which can go a million separate ways, right? We have a guy who's unheard of, right? No one knows. He's not a popular streamer, only has 5 viewers. Does something like this. Was it premeditated, right? Did he purposely do this trying to gain just some 5 minutes of fame? I mean, people are so weird these days.
I don't think so.
People would do these things for 5 minutes of fame, whether good or bad. Okay,
Well,
second off,
Yeah, but this is stupid. There's a difference between
it is.
I totally,
without a doubt.
I totally I get that. Like that definitely could have happened, and there are people who do even stupider shit than that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then my other thing is, on the flip side, even if it wasn't, this is such a delicate kind of thing, because we are at an age where we're in a pandemic, you know, things are, you know, we're hoping for things to get back, you know, to the way they were, but this is an opportunity where technology gaming has given us the opportunity to make money for people, you know, this is where a platform where people can watch other people game, build a community, that kind of thing. But also, this is where your self-control comes into play. You know, I mean, we've been gamers for forever. You know what I'm saying? We've been gaming for ages, man, and we love it. You know, but the whole thing is that
literally forever. I
mean, we get pissed off at gaming. We get mad just like the next person. You know, we get upset. We're competitive. You know,
but not like that. Not like that. Like, not how he did.
I think it speaks to 2 things, really. Like, and one is, you know, like, can you control yourself? Like, right? Like, the fact is that everyone can get on there. We hear all these complaints on Twitch and other streaming platforms that, you know, people are, you know, it's either sex, right, or like any kind of, you know, like trying to be
sexual exposure.
Sexual exposure. You know, racist rants,
not on anymore.
Conspiracy bullshit, and then, you know, you have these guys that are doing rage quit, and they're like the barrier to get onto it, the platform, is zilch, right? Like, you just got to have some kind of gaming, you got to have a camera, and you can get there. So I think that's where a lot of issue is. And then the fact is it's like we live in a culture where, like, if you make any mistake, it's like a hammer come down to you. It's like, you know,
it just takes one.
I applaud people who are not afraid to contact the authorities, but like, was this a situation where really someone was in harm and something was being done, or was it that he just cut the strip and they didn't like how he behaved? Like, fuck, like if that's the case, no one would ever meet the mark to be a parent. No one can have a bad day. No one can make their kid cry. Like,
that's another great point. Yes, that's the whole thing. Like, is it really child abuse? I mean, like I said, we get angry now. Personally, from that kind of standpoint, no, he didn't abuse the kid. Did he yell at the kid? Yes. Was it uncalled for? Yes. Was he in the heat of the moment? Fuck yeah. I mean, yes, he definitely was. Definitely
millions
not appropriate.
Of times across the world that should happen.
But if you're saying that he's been flagged for stuff like this beforehand, I mean,
no, he hadn't. This is just the first time. But see, my thing is yes, that is a very good point, Speedy, about it. When you cross that line and you say that magic word that like, hey, someone's, violated my space, right?
Yeah.
There's a line. Like, for one, for you to make that claim, you have to be specifically clear that that is what's going on. It can't just be oh, well, I didn't like what he was, what the
Yeah.
situation, but it technically, like nothing happened. It's like, you got it, like this case right here.
Yep.
People are saying it was child abuse. There's a fine line between what is child abuse, what isn't. Did he grab the child? Did he physically harm the child? You know what I'm saying? That is child abuse.
It's going to continue to be one. And like, people have to be responsible, not only streaming, but also when they're making those kind of accusations. And like,
on both ways.
I think that gets us in trouble with a lot of things out there in the world.
And I think, yes. And I think that gray area on these kind of platforms has yet to be defined. And I think that gray area poses a huge risk, not only to the streamer, but for the people making claims as well. So I think there has a lot of accountability that needs to go into play, respectively.
But it's going to be continuing to be a hot topic. And like, if you have a comment, what's your opinion? Drop it down there.
Let us know what you guys think.
One of the things I think that's kind of actually cool, like when we're seeing big giants, we're always poo-pooing, or at least I am, on them big giants out there.
Oh, I don't mind letting out a big old poo.
Microsoft this week dropped an announcement and then rolled that bitch back.
Dude, it wasn't in the week. It was literally from the
man.
morning to the afternoon that it changed.
If you've been living under a rock, Microsoft tried to jack up the price of Gold Live subscribers, right? The basic tier level that you need to just even be online with Xbox Live, right? And they were going to start jumping it up. I think it was like either $1 or $3.
It was double.
Well, it was double. So a year
it just depends,
was $60. But
year
now 6 months was going to be $60.
And so, but what they had done is essentially they had increased each month by a certain percentage, and that equated to $60 over the end, right?
Right.
And so it's interesting that that backlash came. And let's talk about our opinions. Like Microsoft, rolling that out, because we talked about this in previous one, right? When they started expanding the passes. They there's going to be that bait and switch at some point with price, because they're giving you way too much content, and they're going to start upping it. And then their response to the gamers, man, like how they came back within that same time, they even issued an apology. And
not only that, but here's something else.
Opened up free for play games.
Yes, that was a huge thing that really no one has. I had never really seen anybody talk about, one, because I don't really play any like free to play games that much. So
yes, you do.
Free. So
you play Fortnite. You play
you're right.
Warzone,
but I bought the actual version.
No, but they are still a free to play game.
True that.
He didn't buy the version. He bought all the content.
Got it. Okay, fuck you guys. I got it.
Noob's like,
I need the dance moves. Bought everything else.
Well, you do need the dance.
That sounds like jealousy. That sounds like salt. Is that what salt sounds like?
When you can actually shoot somebody and kill them and dance over their body.
I had that last kill last night. That was my last kill. I was done. We're good. We won. That was it.
Happiness nugget. It's almost like a juice nugget into my heart.
Yeah, it's like a happy nug. But check this out though. So apparently, in order for you to play free to play games on Xbox, it's still required a subscription, which.
Yes, and that's been with everyone. Like PlayStation's the same thing.
But now, because of this whole thing happening, now you do not need an Xbox Gold subscription in order to play those free-to-play games. You can have a silver account and play the free-to-play. But I think this whole thing
that has a silver account.
True, but inherently, just the fact that that this is kind of amazing, and I think this is one of those instances where the community really speaks volumes. Is because when something like this happens and everyone voices together, you actually see a conclusion, and I think that in itself is really awesome. Just a bravo to the gaming community for speaking up, and Xbox Live for being mature and listening to the players. Bravo.
I think this is it's a reaction to Cyberpunk, right? You saw people get sued and all this other crap. Right. It opened free to play, and like the next conversation, you guys out there that are watching, do you think other consoles are going to fall in suit? Like, are you going to see Nintendo, and are you going to see PlayStation then start offering free to play games, because they took a really negative and they made it super positive, and it's just going to open up a lot of things. Like, One of
It
my
depends.
favorite games.
It's going to take a while to open that up, that kind of discussion up with the other developers.
It now puts
like
the ball. It puts more pressure on the other
Right.
other
No,
makers now
definitely.
to start doing something. With that, one of my favorite games released on PlayStation 4, at least a demo, Resident Evil, the remake has been delayed, but they released the Village demo on PlayStation.
Just on PlayStation.
So yeah, the
have you
Resident
seen
Evil
it?
4.
Oh, man.
I've seen the gameplay, yeah, because I can only watch because I have an Xbox.
So
you
Resident
always
Evil...
watch because you're like dead half the time, and so
Oh.
just I see in my corner.
Ouch.
Palo spectating
before.
Palo spectating.
These are the last burns for the whole podcast. You gotta move forward.
Fuck.
I'm like,
so
are we rolling with a team of 3?
So,
dang.
So we have.
That's not what you said last night.
in Bello's defense, he did get the last kill and he won us the game. But I want to say we had a hacker on our team. So. Yeah, I want to say we had a hacker on our team.
Well, we had a hacker, and then Noob died early because Noob's the one that always wants all the kills. Die
earlier, man. He's like, oh, what happened, guys?
Hey, I knew when I saw that guy murking all those people, I knew we had this in the bag, guys. You didn't need me. Okay? So we have Resident Evil Village that's going to be releasing May 7th for all those Resident Evil fans, which is a really cool deal. It's going to be also available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. I played the last Resident Evil and I absolutely fucking loved it. I got scared a couple times, man, and it brought back that old, just good feeling of a good horror game. It is.
Halo, you like those types of games?
I do like those kind of games. I've always been a big fan of Resident Evil, but the thing is that, I mean, all the past ones that I can think of for the Resident Evil games, they're just so clunky. Like you can't, like aim and run at the same time, or you can't do this, and it just seems so clunky that it just completely turned me off on the games. But looking at the gameplay for this one, it actually looks like it's actually going like they kind of reverted back to the old school playing, and then the storyline seems pretty well. So
yeah,
hopefully
the story,
when it comes on Xbox, or at least Xbox One.
The story was really well done on the past one, which is why I think I'm really excited to play this one. I wasn't a huge fan of 5. I'm really excited to see the remake of 4 because I did play that when it was available on the GameCube. I remember buying that, so I'm really excited for that one.
They're enjoyable.
Yeah, man. I mean, if anybody out there, if you guys are watching right now and you have a PS5 and you were able to play the demo, do us a favor, drop some comments and let us know what you guys think of the demo. How, if you think it's going to be a really good game. Is it compared to anything, maybe the past Resident Evil? Like, just tell us what you guys think graphically, playability, let us know what you think. On the horizon, we also got some news of a Diablo 2 remake. Reason why this is cool is this is going to be remade by the same developers that also did the Tony Hawk series. So this is Vicarious Visions. So this is another good game to look out for. So we just want to drop that piece of info.
Yeah,
we got some cinema news as well.
Like within that same vein, they also have some items in development also with Warcraft 3. I know that's an extremely popular game that's out there too. Yeah. Don't necessarily play it all that much, but those types of strategy games where you're attacking. So Diablo for a long time was the standard, right? It was like one of the badasses games in those types in that. Oh, dude,
Diablo was.
Palo, where have you been?
I never played it.
I don't mind.
It was
you have to have a
free.
computer to play it. Yeah, no. Good things in life
not
are
everything
not free.
in life are free, Palo.
The good things in life are not free.
I need a sponsor for a computer so I can catch up to you guys, and then we'll be fine.
Don't listen to that song. The good things in life are not free. They cost money.
Brother, I have a computer that's still on XP. I'm just saying.
It's like upload that thing to Windows Vista, man. Come on, live a little.
Yeah.
I need to get a new hamster, man. It's wheezing over here, bro.
Man.
So switching some gears on the cinema side, we do want to drop a little notification, let people know that James Bond, in case you don't know, James Bond, No Time to Die, and Ghostbusters Afterlife have both been delayed until the fall of 2021. I don't want to get too much.
Do you even know where the James Bond line is right now? Like,
I honestly don't.
The movies.
I know of
the movies.
Man, I'm so lost. I did too.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah.
from Casino Royale going back, like I don't even know what the
Yes.
storyline is really. Like,
Yes.
are they individual Bond movies or are they all like
This
in
is
a
all prequel.
storyline?
So apparently this is all prequel Bond. So this is
What?
like when Bond just became Bond, apparently. But I too get
When he
so
earned
lost
his
in the
first
James
O.
Bond. I'm only
First
interested
O.
in I'm only interested
when he
in
got
the
his
Bond
Is this
last-
girls.
7?
I said, let's be real. We only watch Bond movie for the Bond girls. We just want to see who the new chick is.
Well,
You know, that's pretty
okay,
much what's the spice of the
so
movie.
much in the vein of me liking like Resident Evil, where it's just a break from the kind of content that we're normally playing. Like I love Bond movies just because they have a lot of action, but it's never like
It's never about the story.
There is always a
Never
story.
about- Oh, it
There's
never-
a bad guy. There, you're going to go get him. That's the story. That's all you need.
you know,
That's
yeah, and
every
you know what's
story,
funny
dude. But
is-
like what I was saying is that they have good action scenes, but they're not all CG'd and like they're not
True.
they're not like these heavy CG'd like The Rock fucking falling out of a building while the building's bending over and he's like holding on and you can see his feet flingering in the sky. Like it's never that.
Here comes the
bullshit,
poo
like,
poo
right?
people.
It's never. It's decent.
Watch
like,
the splash zone.
if I was in better shape, I think I could do it. Like kind of mentality. You're like, oh yeah. If I was in that shape, I could definitely jump through.
Dude,
that
but with the movie, and then you're talking about, the Ghostbuster movies got delayed.
see, that hurt me. That hurt me. Ghostbusters.
What was there? I mean, I can't even. I lost count on how many they did it again. Like this past week,
Top Gun? All
Yeah.
those.
Top Gun got pushed back. What was it? Morpheus or what is it?
Mobius.
Mobius.
Yeah,
That got pushed back another year, so that's
Yeah.
2022. I mean,
and
I'm
that
just
kind of like.
I'm tired of hearing about these movies because I mean they blew up, the Ghostbusters movie Afterlife. They blew up about the advertisement. They blew up about this, and
Well, not
they
only
showed this
that,
review, and then it's just.
Yeah, I just read this interview that was talking about how Ivan Reitman was, I guess, the son made the movie and showed it to his dad and was like crying because it was so well done. It was a really good.
Are we talking about
development of
the new one, right?
Yeah, the Ghostbusters Afterlife. And now I'm just so fucking excited. Like literally when I saw the first teaser of the fucking Ecto breaking out of the barn, I shit myself. And I've been shitting
It's
myself
in
since.
Fortnite too. It's
I have
funny.
diarrhea.
It's in Fortnite. It's in
Yeah.
Fortnite. We
Really?
found
Yes.
it.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
It just looks well done with what
I
little
wanna see
information
it.
we've been given.
Yeah, I just want to see it so bad. If any guys out there that are developers or I mean, so like directors, marketing people, give us a sneak peek. It's okay. I ain't gonna say shit. No one's gonna say anything.
You can watch it. You can watch it. I mean, we already done enough sneak peeks.
Do
The
not
thing is
let
that-
him
see,
watch
that's the
it.
thing.
He will tell everybody everything.
Oh, I know. But we've gotten so many sneak peeks about this movie. It's like listening to Noob, and he's telling us the whole story. And so then when I actually go watch it, I'm not surprised. I have no development of like
Speedy,
storyline.
when does he actually watch it?
I don't know. Like okay, case in point, we are talking about earlier. Like we're throwing around who's watched WandaVision, and
I've watched WandaVision. I watched all
it's
three
one of the
episodes.
few. Like, did you
Very few times
we-
you've ever
we could-
watched anything. Very few times.
You're always
No,
behind in the boys.
because I think about like I need to watch it because then Speedy's gonna get all pissed off that I haven't watched it, and Speedy's only watched what? You only watched 2 episodes?
That's all I could bear to watch.
You're like-
it's not
I
that
saw the first 30 minutes
Dude.
and I was like, really?
I had to keep my
Really?
eyes open, and I literally timed the very first episode. It had 6 minutes of credits. So like,
Oh, dude, no, they all have 6 minutes of credits.
okay, dude, it was like, how many
But-
fucking people needed to make this cookie
Well, I
cutter?
watched. So I watched
deal,
the
like-
last one, and semi-spoiler alert. I watched the last one, and they finally kind of like
They're finally
what's
getting
going-
to the story.
a
like,
little bit at the
dude,
very end. At the
as,
very
so
end,
as
you're-
excited
I'm-
as I was for this show, like it has taken so long to answer the question of why they're even there.
So this is what
And
my
so
feeling is.
the
Let me
first-
let me throw this out. Let me
First
throw
one,
this
I'm
out.
dying.
So I have a feeling everything this is all after Endgame.
yeah,
and
this
this
happens
is
right
her-
after
it's after the
Endgame.
end game.
And this is all in her mind. Like I have a feeling like
It's
this
not
is
in her mind.
Well,
Like
this is,
the
this is
If you
her.
watch the 3rd episode,
I
It's
like I
not-
totally get that because I've had that same idea when I was watching the first, one and a
Uh-huh.
half of it. But there's both of them that are operating in it, right? But like the point is, like, if you want to hook people, you have to give them something more than some fucking person at a computer screen at the very
Yeah, but
end
their
of the
whole thing was
episode.
about this WandaVision, and it's supposed to be retro and
It's like the
old, and
Truman Show.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
dude, it has been painful to like the first one literally was very painful for me to
In
watch. Like
in the 3 episodes, they've gone through like 5 decades of TV shows and stuff
yeah,
like that.
because like the very first one, dude, it was so hard to watch. Like it was like it just did not have any pace. You didn't know why they were there. Like you understand the characters, you understand their powers, and it's just there was never. It was more like a
It was just
bewitched.
weird.
It was
It's
like
just weird.
a
So
bewitched kind of deal, but both of them were in it, and
right.
it's just like it's probably the first Marvel product in a very long time since that Hulk with Edward Norton that has
Oh,
thrown me off of like going like this is almost like
It's
DC.
tasteless. Yeah,
It's
it's
almost
just
like DC.
so
Like
whoa.
so
I
you
was
guys
waiting
know
for that.
Why?
I was worried. I just did that just to get you all riled up,
so
man.
so you guys know when you guys are playing a game and there's a certain achievement or item that you're trying to grind for, and when you finally get it, not only is it a relief, but you also kind of want to throw your controller and be like, you know what, fuck this game, like I'm done, like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna fucking touch this game for a while. In all honesty, that's how I feel about WandaVision. Like I was kind of geared up for it. And don't get me wrong, I love Marvel. I love them. But after watching Endgame, bro, it was a sigh of relief. And by the same token, I was like, fuck, I got to take a break for a little bit because it's been like Marvel movie after Marvel movie after Marvel. And then we got shows. And I'm just like kind of burnt.
I
Where I'm
think for
just
me, they
like,
just waited
But
too
you-
long. Like this was supposed to come out last year. Like
Agreed.
this,
And
along
Yes.
with the
and that's
Falcon, and
and
like
that's that fatigue. That's that fatigue
yes,
gap that
yeah,
we've
it
been
gave,
talking about.
yes,
and
yes.
I if for me timing wise, like I was excited last year when they announced all the timing for Disney, including the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
the Falcon series that's going to come out. Like I was expecting to see all those things there during this time frame, and it didn't appear. And like now that we're finally getting this, like I'm kind of worried about the Falcon one. Like, is it going to be any good? Because like this one's been really hard to watch, and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it another. I'm gonna give it to like the fourth episode to see if it picks up a little bit. But like seriously, like it's probably gonna be playing on in the background. It's like because I
Well, the
like
thing too is that with like most Marvel stuff, like all the Marvel movies, like at least the more recent ones, there's a bunch of like Easter eggs, and you have to know a bunch of of the older storyline, or at least like the comic books. And that's the same with WandaVision, man. Like I mean I like Marvel. I'm not a huge Marvel fan. Like
it's no
these
next
two nutballs.
generation.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right. You leave Star Trek out of this. I can't bring it into this.
It's a Voyager
Leave it
kind of
out.
series.
Voyager was fine. Voyager was fine. It was a great series. Don't just
So
you
so
can
Pello,
talk about Enterprise all you want.
So, Pello, you did
That's okay.
mention something about some cinema fatigue or some show fatigue. Like, explain to me, like what you're.
Well, that's just what I mean. Like so, like how you're talking about, like this is the cinema, this is the entertainment fatigue that we're all getting from games, from TV shows, from movies. There's been that big gap that we went like, oh shit, and we started going back, and like you're waiting for that next step, because that's what the entertainment industry has done to us. They go and you
Right.
put in the next movie, you put in the next
Right.
TV show, so it's always in your mind, it's always there.
Right.
But because we've
Right.
had that gap, and now we come up to WandaVision, which is so underwhelming.
Right.
Which at like how you explain, like how at the movie of at Endgame, where you're like, oh, you get that that sigh
Yeah.
of relief from
Yeah.
Endgame, and WandaVision is supposed to still, it feels like it's supposed to be that,
carry that momentum.
it's supposed to carry the momentum, but with
Yeah.
a sigh of relief, but with
Right.
something coming forward. But
Right.
because we've had this pandemic of like
Yeah.
gap,
Right.
now
right.
we're looking for like, okay, we need that Marvel
That
back,
pick me
we need
up.
that entertainment,
Right.
that pick me up, and we're not getting it with WandaVision. It's just
Right.
a lot of like
It
clues,
was
and
it
it's
was
kind
that
of like
I- that I-
underwhelming.
Yes,
it was
I
a
agree
a totally
wholeheartedly with
different
that.
feeling
Yes.
from then like watching the Mandalorian. God damn, my voice cracked. Watching the Mandalorian
Got
and
excited.
watching the end of that season 2, or like Cobra Kai, right? Like those are so to me.
Yes. Yeah.
They had great scripts, and it was like it pushed. Like you knew what was going on. Like it wasn't so mysterious that you were like totally left field. But like this, like it started
Dude, it's
out
gone.
with you like in a dark room and not having any idea how the hell you got there, and they just didn't really talk about any of it.
I
And
mean, like,
it's really hard to get
certain-
someone to watch another episode when it's just like that. So
It's too late to be too complicated. Like, let's just
Yeah.
have a good time. Like, we've already went through the complication of the Tesseract and the freaking stones, and going back and doing this and that. Like, this is a time where we're just supposed to enjoy a good show, without the hardship.
I
And
mean, the thing
kinda
is
feel
that
like,
with WandaVision, the script and everything else was already put out there. The fact is,
Yeah.
Right.
that Disney Plus went and pushed it back, and they pushed it. I think what it is that they pushed it back too far from their normality, and it threw
Right.
everybody off.
And you
so
brought
when
up
we're
an
looking for that,
excellent. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I said you brought up an excellent point. Like now, I'm kind of worried about some of the movies that I've been really like jonesing for, like
Mhm.
the.
So I mean, like for Ghostbusters, like I was
Maverick.
so up for it. Maverick, like even Maverick, like I was ready for it, and then I'm
I'm
like,
losing momentum, man. I'm losing momentum.
Well,
you
and then
know,
like what A Quiet Place, like that first one was so fucking awesome, and like the
Quiet
number
Place 2 got
two's
pushed
been
back. Yeah,
been pushed back, and like Dune,
Again.
and like the only saving grace is that now that like if you choose not to go to the theaters, you can watch them on HBO Max. But even and then, like they're still being pushed back, and so man, now I'm
they're
kind
not
of
adopting because they're reluctant to adopt. They're so fucking
now
scared
I'm
that
really
they're not going to
worried
make that
about
money.
like some of these
Yeah.
movies that I've been really excited to watch, and since there hasn't been anything else to watch in that time frame, that
which
it's just,
makes
it's just not gonna be good.
which also makes me feel, if you're not confident in your movie now to release it because you feel like you won't get the same pay, now what makes you think I'm going to want to spend that money, being that you are not as sure,
Yep.
like why now, and now, I mean, if I've waited this long to fucking watch the movie and you release it in the theater, I'm just going to wait longer to watch it
Mhm.
fucking somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
already waited so goddamn long. Like, it's not a problem anymore. It's a problem now because now's a good time. But
Yep.
you fucking wait so long, I'm not gonna care anymore.
yeah. All these companies need to jump on the ball and push forward. Even if they're going to lose money,
Yes.
but you need to push forward. You need to get the
Content.
momentum back. You need to
Right.
get the momentum back, because if not, you're just
Yes.
losing it.
Yes, agreed, man. Agreed. So, also, I believe, Bello, you also put up this story, which is pretty interesting. So, Google
I
threatens to pull something. What's going on here?
Yeah, so Google's Google's in a weird legal battle with the country of Australia. Weirdly enough, it's kind of just a weird
The
thing.
land
So
down
Google-
under.
land-
Little shrimp on the Barbie. I
A
know we
little
I know we
shrimp
don't
on
have
the
anyone
Barbie.
from watching from Australia, so I can do that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
yeah, because then they'll be really offended, and well, yeah, you can go ahead and
Yeah.
comment if you're
Let
offended
me-
anyway.
This is a
How
knife.
fucking dare you guys?
This
you
is a
guys-
knife.
You guys sound nothing like him. I'm just saying. But anyways, so
That's not
Google is
nice.
actually threatening to take away Google from Australia. What do you
They're
guys think
fucked.
about it?
They're fucked.
So
So
Google,
what-
Google will not. So there will be no Google in Australia.
There will be no Google in Australia.
So
There'll
it's
be no
binging. So
Googling
they'll
it.
binging.
It's-
So they'll
it's
be
a
binging.
weird. Yeah,
No,
it's
they're
a
gonna be
weird
asking-
thing with the.
Javes. Ask Jeeves. Ask Jeeves.
Oh
Ask Jeeves. You don't remember that website?
my
Ask
God,
Jeeves.
I do, but oh my God.
There's a
You
little
just showed your
butler.
age, bro. You just showed your age.
Butler?
I'm just saying. Those little butler.
or what is it? Duck Go or something like that? Or don't they?
Duck, Duck, Go.
Duck Go.
One time I
DuckDuckGo's
looked up like
fine.
search engines, and I was like, I haven't even heard anything out of the top 4. Like, who the
Hey, DuckDuckGo, you can sponsor us. You
Yeah.
don't handle all of our information. That's fine.
is that the place you go to look up your sexual videos?
I'm just saying.
Why did it get so awkwardly quiet right now?
Because we're
Right
talking.
now, that
This
time
this
right
this
there.
got truth
This
time,
guy-
right?
We're going.
It's not-
Okay,
feels like
so
the
let me
truth
keep going,
time.
let me keep
So
going.
let me ask you this. So you said that they're threatening to pull Google from Australia.
Right.
What
so
was the straw that broke the camel's back?
So here's the thing: is that the Australian government is wanting for Google and or like Facebook to pay for links or streaming of anything like from the newscasting, broadcasting that they're pulling from. So if you go and like Google like some kind of news from Australia and it's linking to a local a local news,
Right,
affiliate.
like what would be their
Right.
10.5 or whatever.
Right. So they're like, okay, then Google,
The
you need to
Beamer.
pay us. You need to pay us.
Spit all over my mic.
Oh my god.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going, though, buddy.
Pay attention.
Going.
Just like spit all over it. Mm. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, it's a weird so what it is that like the broadcasters, the local broadcasters, they're saying like, okay, well, we're losing money because.
So I'm just curious, does Google pay United States?
Nope.
Did they pay me for my looks?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't understand what the big gripe is. I mean, if
they're losing money, they're losing money.
But how?
See, like it like I could understand if they were streaming it. Quick drop. Like I can understand if they're streaming it, but they're not. They're just linking to it. So I'm still confused. Like I think it's just they're finding a hard way to try to.
I want you to pay me to eat your burger.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
Because even though I want your burger, I'm eating it.
I mean, like if they're not paying Google to promote their website link, like I'm sure there's only like 2 fucking stations in Australia. It's like there's only like two news places.
Like loundonunder.com.
It's like
they're live
or shrimponthebobby.net.
It's like exactly. It's like
where are you going?
We're the newscast from the east. We're the newscast from the west. Which one is better? Like I don't know. It's like
I want somebody from Australia to come and comment on Speedy and Noob because they obviously don't know anything about it. They think it's just one big desert and there's more dingoes and there are people there apparently.
If we could get just one person that we could verify from Australia watching our stream, I will like everything that they got.
Yeah,
everything.
I'm go to Australia
for you. I'm gonna find that person.
But like the end of this is like Google's threatening basically like if you keep going for it, we're just gonna stop services, and so they're gonna fook everyone that's in Australia. Like you think you're mad about the news stations not getting some money?
Yeah,
you're like. Jeeves, he doesn't answer all the time. Like he doesn't even know like what's going on like 90% of the time.
Why am I being redirected to Opera?
I'm like,
why am I searching through Opera?
Someone just Googled other Google search engines.
Yeah, Google alternatives.
They're like, we can't even do that. So big hot topic here. Cheaters.
Okay, so
take us here.
Cheaters.
And we're not talking about the show. We're not talking about the show.
So this is really big. This is something we've covered before, but this is kind of like an ongoing thing. So we have a gentleman by the name of 100 Tommy, and he's basically been dubbed the human anti-cheat. In Call of Duty Warzone right now, that's one of the biggest battle royale games that you can play. There's just been a slew of cheaters. So what this guy did was it started out small time. This guy would basically hide, in a couple of videos. We'll go ahead and link down below. He's basically just hiding in a Warzone match. People just randomly come up to him and shoot him. They know exactly where he is,
Yeah, I've seen those.
This is a pretty big ass fucking map, but it gets deeper than that. What started out as just, finding cheaters, it became a really big deal because he started finding streamers, who were really popular, who were gaining momentum, within the Warzone community and, finding out that they're cheaters. Apparently now he's even found some pro players to be cheating as well. Recently is an interview that he has with the cheater in which he talks about how he knew that he was cheating, which is really awesome. Now,
he's like a forensic detective when it comes to your videos.
He's the digital forensic anti-cheat. Yeah.
And he's like the guy. He's like you hear the.
He's the Sherlock Holmes of Call of Duty.
But here's what makes this whole thing worthwhile. And this is why I completely wanted to talk about this, was because it's just so. This is why I don't play a lot of PC competitive games. It doesn't matter whether it's Warzone, whether it's Destiny, whether it's Halo, Master Chief Collection. I just don't play a lot of PC competitive because there are, without a doubt, a lot more hackers on PC than console, period. But but here's the thing. This is the kicker. We are now in a world where we get to have our cake and eat it too. Now we have cross-play enabled. So now we have the opportunity where everybody can play together. But now this poses a massive risk, right? Because now console players are at the mercy of these PC hackers, right? So now we're relying on one guy to do the job, but they're playing, this is Activision we're talking about, Call of Duty. How do they not have their own anti-cheat enabled, right? How are they not doing this on their own?
It's not good enough as of this person, apparently.
Well,
I thought it was funny. The one little interjection I'm gonna have here is I thought it was funny is that, like, he's been doing this for a really long time and he's been able to catch these people, and then he just joined, what is it, a new group, 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves. Oh, the irony. The irony.
is that a referendum on clan names, or is that on cheating itself?
Yeah, right. But this is my question to you guys. So whenever we play Warzone, it is a cross-enabled game, but you cannot play without cross-play enabled. So therefore, I cannot choose on our own to play with just Xbox players, right? We don't have that option. So my question is, where does that line break where it's like, look, man, there's a lot of cheaters. You need to give the gamers the choice whether you want to play
I think
this
is two things, right? Like, so one is PCs, like, they love to talk about this master race BS with their graphics and everything. They're the worst cheaters out there, man. Every single one of them. Like, one person can destroy.
You know who you are.
That's why I don't play Warzone anymore. Is because of them. Like, because I've been on tops of buildings and been sniped out by a submachine gun from someone halfway across the fucking map. So like,
those are legit though.
I don't like playing it, and so either it comes to the companies like shoring up your code so that you can't have these cheaters on it, or two, then just give us the option to turn it off, because gamers as a whole
give me the option for console gamers and PCs, or both.
For the longest time, just players in general wanted crossplay. Now we got it. Now we don't like it, like in some aspects of it. And so like, I love crossplay when it's not competitive, when it's not like those types of matches, but I want to be able to turn it off because I want to enjoy it.
I like crossplay when I have the option. And so this kind of speaks to with the development of the game. Like, if this guy's going out and he's finding these people who are cheating, he's like looking at their code that they're running. He's looking at like their mannerisms, what they're doing, how they're accomplishing it, what's going on. Like like Warzone made all those hundreds of millions of dollars that first year, if they can't invest any of that into their own game, like, they have a stake in this. So it's up to them. Like, if people start pulling away from it because cheaters are running rampant, because the pressure to be the best streamer out there is so high that you're willing to take those chances, it's not worth it, man.
I'm not worth. I don't like it, and I don't follow streamers just to see them fucking mowing people down. I follow them for their personalities. Like, do I enjoy watching them talk and laugh? And like, very rarely am I just watching some dude playing by himself, playing the game. Like, it's not fun.
Well, you do, but
that's a different type, and that's on Palo's Magic server. That he doesn't want to talk about.
So it's underground stuff. You're not supposed to talk about it.
And that's exactly how I feel, man. It's like we all bitch and bark for the opportunity to have crossplay, and now we got it, which I think is in essence a really good thing. But I do feel,
but we need to progress. We need to progress and go forward. And
we need to progress and go forward.
They need to get on top of this.
Well, yes, and I just believe that we need to have the option. So if you feel like you're a console player and you're just playing with your console buddies, you can disable it and still play with nothing but console players. I mean, I heard at one point that hackers are being pulled and put into their own hacker lobby.
I'd rather them go play by themselves. Like, go play by yourselves.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're able to make that kind of commitment, to putting, hackers in their own lobby and make that effort, you can definitely make the effort to have that option disabled and play. And I have my hunch is, I have a feeling that if people were to have that option, right, then a lot more people would turn it off, and that's not what they're wanting. And I have a feeling that's why they don't give people the option, is because they don't want to see the results, because the results would probably be shocking, and it would put a lot more pressure on the developers.
Dude, there's millions of little kids running out there right now using hacker codes, trying to pop off and be something to be up there like their favorite person.
Ban them.
And like,
Palo's one of them. Palo's one of them.
They cry about being
obviously not one of them. I am very obviously not one of them.
It's very obvious, or isn't.
I didn't get the 10 kills last night, remember?
Oh, that's right, man. That's right. Shout out to whoever was playing with us last night. He definitely brought us that win. Fucking hacker.
But to that point is like, they need to protect their investment. Like, if they want to do these pay for play kind of deals where you're buying all this content and stuff and they're making a fist and money, invest in it because
Fisting
like,
money.
Those I love fisting money, especially 20s. I'm out.
Oh God.
So definitely, we'll definitely drop some links of 100
Noises.
Tommy's 100 Tommy's gameplay, so you can see exactly how he's investing his time to be the human anti-cheat and how good he is. But for everyone else, you got an option. You can hit that like button, like and subscribe below. You can also check us out on our social media. We have our Next Level Official Podcast on Facebook and on Instagram. So be sure to check us out. Come on, guys, hit it, Jesus.